let's milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, chicka-pow.
And this week from the far, far, far right rag sheet, will Scotland lose strictly if it votes for independence? Screeches the Mail. Amid all the worrying predictions for a devolved Scotland, this could be the real clincher. Strictly Come Dancing may no longer be shown north of the border. Yes, I'm sure that's every fucker's main concern, you know what I mean? I mean, what they're actually trying to say within this is the headline, and then you delve slightly deeper, which I fucking hate to do with these fucking horrible cunts. But I'm doing it for you. That's why we're doing it. We're doing it for you. We did put money into that.
Are you getting these lazy swearings doing, by the way, Dan?
You might as well. Can we man.
Anyway, Mike.
Anyway, so yes, you delve a bit deeper into the sort of crux of the article, in inverted commas. And what they're actually trying to say is, like, the BBC, there's this whole scaremongering thing where the Mail have been all like, sort of, oh yeah, you'll lose the BBC if you go independent, because they're obviously very right wing. And for those who don't know, it's like,
We'll take your batter away.
We'll take your batter away. Kind of batter out. For those who don't know, well, this daft cunt fucking button in again. It's the Conservative and Unionist Party. One of the main planks of the Conservative Party is to keep the Union, which is Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland, together. So the Mail, as they want to do, are battering in with loads of sort of scaremongery kind of, oh, you're going to lose strictly on that. And then, like, obviously, you know, the BBC have hopped on that as well because they don't want to lose sort of subscriptions or whatever. It's not going to happen. You know, like, you know, I just said, vote yes. Vote yes.
Oh, you want them out? You want them to vote?
Aye. Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's going to condemn us to 1,000 years of fucking Tory rule. But I tell you, so that on the plus side. But to be fair, like, I wouldn't begrudge anybody the chance to fuck those cunts off. I mean, you've got a real chance, Scottish people, if any of you are listening, if any of you are in a fucking MCAT den in Fenham, then you'll probably potentially be listening. Vote yes. Like, register to vote is before the 2nd of September. I posted the link the other day on the page. You know, fuck all to do with me, but I have lived in Glasgow twice. Love the people, love the place. I'd potentially consider moving back there if you fucking uncouple from these fucking absolute shit cunts. So just
do you think
just
Alan
vote yes?
Hansen will vote yes?
I'm not. Well, he might now that he's left Match of the Day, Michael. Who knows? You know. I'm not bothered what Captain Scarlet's going to fucking do. Do you know what I mean?
What about Andy Gray?
Andy Gray's definitely not. He's too fucking well up with Keezy. Keezy's not letting that happen. Like,
on the flip side of it, I mean, very little of Scotland is actually owned by Scottish people. It's got like massive foreign interests own large parts of Scotland. And basically, I reckon if it does get independence, it's been kind of washed up and driven by a kind of mainly a nationalist party. But there's a lot of people who are either not political or socialist inclined in Scotland, which obviously is a much more socialist leaning country, who are kind of getting behind the yes vote. But my concern is that once the independence takes place, that they're just going to get exploited by their own people, their own leaders within those areas, with their own people in the rich and the wealth that's kind of concentrated and owned by a lot of like foreign investment. There's a lot of Saudi investment in there. And also as well, I think is a big thing is this, we've got free education, which we don't have in England.
Get into it.
And also free prescriptions. And I'll be interested to see whether or not those two things will survive those things if they break away into an independent Scotland and they have to kind of, you know, support themselves as a nation.
Scotland can do that.
Will they not get just swallowed up by Europe though, and the Euro zone and just?
Well, it's an option. I mean, they could take the euro because there's all this like, you can't have the pound and that, and like the Tories all like, you can't have this. I'm taking me ball home. You know what I mean? But like, so fuck, like. You've got a chance to like you can do it yourself, Scottish people. Do you know what I mean? You can. You can do. This is an impassioned plea to you, battered Mars bar porridge quaffers. Get yourself down to the voting booth, register to vote before the 2nd of September, and vote yes. Like, who knows what's going to happen afterwards? But one thing I fucking do know: do you want to be ruled by pedo fucking cunts? I don't, and I'm moving up with you. So,
but they've got their fucking own pedo problems up there.
But it's like,
just the same.
They're all off the head. They'll easily eradicate them. They'll do in the purge just the day after the vote. When the hangover's fucking worn off.
Their politicians.
Oh yes, I'm totally for independence, but I love racism against Scottish.
That's not racism. That's just fact. I've lived there. They love a drink.
That's true.
So do I.
very interesting thoughts, and it's something that I'd definitely like to bring up further on because we're just so close to the independence vote. I think it's a really important issue that not enough English people are thinking about, especially in the northeast and in the north in general, where they're going to be the people who are going to feel the impact the most. If Scotland does get independence, we're going to be sort of set adrift from the kind of concentration of wealth that is in London.
On memory bliss.
Where you sing me high.
Do you reckon the jocks will like
The jocks.
The jocks.
You're still in the sun-sized mode. That's saying that I went a bit off fucking bit off the cliff on that one. Like, sorry.
The jocks could like theoretically be classed as asylum seekers down here in a few years' time, couldn't they?
How's that? Like, how then riddle me this one.
Because they might like just build a big wall, stay up there, and then once it all goes tits
I
up
like
down
Game of
there,
Thrones. I did.
Well, the needs watch.
Fucking hell.
Out, man, you fucking English.
And I would say the wild Albion. Fucking hell.
No, but it could do, couldn't it? They could. It could end up in a big sort of like
Course it
cultural
won't.
divide thing between.
Of course
English
it won't.
and Scot-
And I'll tell you for
Scots
why.
people.
Oil, gas, if they get the rights to their natural resources, they are sorted. Do you know about the Norwegian economy? You know, that's one of the like, you know, it's not as good as it was, but they set aside a lot for like sort of socialised sort of programs within Norway. It's voted one of the happiest places in the world. Scotland could be another Norway if they were given rights to what they actually have. And once again, we're going to be condemned to 1,000 years of Tory rule because no matter what we vote, it won't matter anymore. But I certainly don't begrudge anybody the rights to actual freedom. What I will say, though, right? What I will say, if you vote no and you start giving it all this Braveheart clatter, I will never, ever, ever let you fucking forget the fact you vote no. So just vote yes. Vote yes
But
for freedom.
yeah, well, it could go. It's just hard to say about that one, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But it is, but like what you do know, if they stay the same, things stay the same, and things are fucked. If you vote yes, you maybe don't know what's going to happen, but you can collectively work together. And the Scottish people are some of the greatest people on this fucking planet. I love Scottish people.
I would like to think that they voted yes, and it all worked out grand for them. Like definitely,
It would be good to, but the only way that they're going to do that is if the people who vote for yes challenge the SNP, because Alex Salmon is just a kind of egotistical guy who basically is just all about pushing things forward himself.
Totally.
And I think without the people who are putting behind him, who maybe politically massively disagree with them, but want an independent Scotland, it's that kind of that voice that needs to come out. It's all the young people and the people who are kind of like really want a different kind of way of life. My mother grew up in Scotland, and she was somebody who was involved in the call for independence a long time ago, and she used to think in a time that we cannot even imagine what it was like to live in, where basically independence was, what was just so needed because of the fact that any kind of coverage on television of what was going on politically was about Westminster, and it was so alien to her life in Scotland, so she was totally behind it. Ironically, now she's kind of completely counterposed to it and wants to stay within the union, but that's because she lives in England. Probably.
I'll show you respect you, man.
It's sort of like we're sort of like the dog end of. It's sort of like us, isn't it? We're the dog end of England, aren't we?
Oh, we're the complete armpit of England. I mean, like, there's a lot. I mean, I love Newcastle. I've lived in Glasgow. I've lived in Liverpool. I've lived in a lot of other places. I've moved around with work. I love it here, and I keep coming back. Any Geordie is on a piece of elastic back to our homeland. But again, I reiterate the point. If we had an opportunity, we did to but it was voted against it like a long time ago before I was anywhere near political. However, Scotland have got a real chance. They've got a real chance for actual freedom. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Because you know what it might do? It might give people like us down here the fucking cojones to go out and do it for ourselves. So blaze the trail.
There was what's kind of just funny to finish on this. When the Scottish Socialist Party were a big party in Scotland, before Tommy Sheridan, the leader of it, got caught with prostitutes and then basically lied and denied about it. He was really, there was people in Newcastle who wanted to become involved in the Scottish Socialist Party, and they wanted to incorporate Newcastle into a kind of annexed, kind of area. So devolution would also involve Newcastle.